Alrighty then, so if you're just joining us, we just played the weirdest league of our lives with Transmogrify Atraxa. So we're back to spin the wheel and see what we play next today. So let's go ahead and do that. Just barely missed Soren Galta. Blue-white control. Alright, so this is blue-white control. We've immediately lost viewers. I can see the enthusiasm for this deck is already peaking. So, yeah, it's blue-white control. I mean, do I really have to discuss this? There's nothing unorthodox, nothing different about this deck. Let's run the league. All right, so on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the most painful and 1 being the least, how painful will it be to play/watch this deck? Place your bets now. A 9? I recently played against a blue-white control who forgot to put a win con in their deck. Paper or digital? They ended up winning anyway by stalling forever. How does that work exactly? All right, Kahira. We have 2 lands. I guess this is keepable. All right. We're playing against Lotus Field? Yep. All right, so let's play Prairie Stream and pass. Impulse. They kept shuffling cards back into their library from their graveyard. So they did have a win con then. Play this, pass, and then I guess I'm just going to, if they don't play anything that I can counter, just cycle Shark Typhoon for 0. Impulse. Yeah, I'll counter that. Grazer. All right, Field of Ruin. They have double Thespian Stage. What am I even doing at this point? Cycling Shark Typhoon end step? All right, pass back to them because I just need to find lands. Also, drawing 3 pieces of removal, not so great against Lotus Field. All right, they didn't do anything, so cycle the Shark Typhoon. End step, opponent is cycling Vizier. Okay, not sure what the point of that is. All right, there's a land. There's a Hallowed Fountain, so let's see. I can casualty my Shark token, so let's lay down arms on the Grazer. Like, I'm not doing anything else with this mana. And then play this tapped, and then attack with the Shark. And just hold Make Disappear open. Thespian Stage copies Island. Okay, sure. So that I can't field it when they eventually play Lotus Field. Gotcha. All right, Lotus Field, eat your Botanical Sanctums. Wait, this one is copying it? Oh, because I'm shields down. All right, well, time to slam Teferi. Plus, combat, attack with the Shark. Trigger, untap these. Go ahead, opponent. Tap, 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 bunch of mana. Hidden Strings. Yep. So how much mana are they going to have left over after Emergent? Do they have just enough to pay for it? Pour over the pages, sure. One of my worst MTG experience was playing against someone whose only win con was Gideon of the Trials. The game boiled down to both of us looping our 1 copy of Elixir of Immortality, so literally nothing would happen. I've since referred to I can't lose but I can't win decks as mono white mill. Leer, which I can sort of counter. Not really, though. I guess I just use up the maximum amount of their mana here. So we go cast with Casualty and sack the Shark. So they're at least forced to tap down 1 Lotus Field. But it doesn't even matter, right? They just pay for it, Leer resolves, and they get to Hidden Strings and pour. They could technically brick, I guess. They might just not have it, but it's not looking good. Should also note they had no way to make Gideon a creature without it dying and the emblem then falling off. So strings, thus untaps. Oh yeah, this ciphers, right? Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player, copy it. All right, so pour over the pages, draw a bunch, discard Sylvan Scrying. Yeah, there's Emergent, and we lose. All right, do your thing, opponent. How are we losing? Is it Approach or Chandra? All right, looks like it's the Approach plan. Oh no, it is the Chandra plan? So now they just have, what? The win con is double Balaged, and then you Balaged one of the Balageds back and Chandra back. So Balaged gets back Chandra, then Chandra's free, then you Balaged, get back the other Balaged and something else, then you tick Chandra down to deal 5. And what do you do exactly here? Vizier, untap. This seems a lot more cumbersome than just winning with Approach. So you need triple Balaged to do this. Triple Balaged and Omniscience. All right, so game 2. So Lotus Field, what do we want? Counter, 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 filtering, an aggro game plan. So Bramaz, 1 rip so they can't get stuff back with Leer or Balaged. I guess both rips, right? Yeah. Divine Smite, target creature or planeswalker opponent control phases out if the permanent is black, exile it instead. So I can phase out Chandra during their combo turn potentially. Regal Caracles, and then I'm cutting. Lay down arms because they do nothing. What else? Lockdown does nothing. Wandering Emperor is way, way, way worse when your opponent doesn't have any creatures for you to kill. Farewell, also useless. Verdict, also pretty useless. Now, they can bring in stuff like Zakama, so we can't just completely lose all of our removal. March is pretty useless, too. Let's just cut Verdict. Whatever, that's fine. All right, submit. Okay, we've got Rip, Mystical Dispute, Caracal. So we'll eventually do something. Keep. So play this and go. Sanctum, back to us. All right, so Ardenvale comes in untapped, right? Play Rip, back to them. All right, I don't think there's anything I have to dispute at this point, so let's just get Kahira. Back to them. Thespian Stage. Thespian Stage copies basic. Double dispute. All right, so let's go. I want to play Teferi next turn or Regal Caracal. So what's the worst thing they can do? They can go like Lotus copy, but then they're still not going off, right? Yeah, so let's just go Kahira, play this tapped, go. And then I get to play Teferi and hold up double Mystical Disputes next turn. Lotus Field, float, copies. All right, we're good. So land, Teferi, plus go to combat, swing, triggers, and this one. Hidden Strings, dispute, and they pay for it, and then I dispute it again. But now I really desperately need to draw more interaction. Thespian Stage. All right, plus Summary Dismissal's worth it. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8. If I play Caracal right now, then, right, I have 6 Caracal, and then I untap 2, and then I can't dismissal. That sucks. All right, so play this tapped, and then combat, swing, and this triggers, and we untap this. Holding dismissal up. Balaged Recovery tapped. So they're not doing anything. All right, make a human on the end step. Back to us. Play or plus Teferi. Odawara. All right, play field. Go to combat. Oh, I guess I should have played Caracal first, but it's fine. All right, swing. So I go Caracal, white, this, white, this one, and then untap 2 lands. Okay. This is lethal next turn anyway, so it's fine. So then they copy one of their Lotus Fields. Yep. Trigger this. Then go to my end step and untap 2 lands. 3 mana on end step. Beseiju the Rip. Sure. Go grab a land. All right. Cast Pour. All right. I guess let's just counter that. Blue, blue. All right. We won. And then I guess we just run back exactly the same stuff. Yeah. Run back exactly the same thing. Submit. We're on the draw for game 3. This is not a great hand, but we have Rip. We have changed the equation to counter stuff. I think it's keepable. All right. Keep. Botanical Sanctum. Back to us. Play this tapped and go. Play the second land. Play Sylvan Scrying. Well, problem with being on the draw is I can't change that. So this turn they're just going to play Lotus Field or something. So let's just play this and play Rip. And then next turn we just keep holding open cycle lands / the counterspell. Impulse. This also conveniently doesn't hit Emergent Ultimatum, or inconveniently rather. All right, play this tapped and go. Cast Sylvan Scrying. All right, counter that. Plays another land. Then looks like it's going back to us as Kanta. All right, so let's play that. And then just hold open cycling. 4 mana. Mastermind's Acquisition. Sure. Thespian Stage. I assume that's what they got. All right, cycle this. Odawara. Trigger. Field of Ruin on top, so I can field this. All right. Play field and just hit it now while we can. So kill that. Grabbing an island. I've got Jack else to do, so let's just put Kahira in my hand. Go. Beseiju into play instead of hitting Rip. All right. Pour the pages. What'd they discard? Another Lotus Field. 4 mana. Hidden Strings. 6. Hidden Strings again. And that gets them just enough to cast Emergent, right? Yeah. Fantastic. So the Rip is disrupting Dark Petition, though, because they can't petition for black mana here. Chandra, Omniscience, and Pour over the pages. So what does Chandra do exactly? Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you may choose new. So if I give them Omniscience, I can bounce it with Odawara. Exile the top 5. You may cast an instant or sorcery from among the exiled cards. So I probably actually put back Pour. So they have 5 mana plus Chandra. I can't get rid of Chandra next turn. If I get rid of Chandra, then I have to really hope they brick. The problem is if I just put Omniscience back, then they just go Chandra, Pour over the pages, draw a bajillion cards. I'm going to put back Pour. None of the options are good, though. Oh, they just had another Pour in their hand. Okay. So yeah, there was no combination of anything that could have given them. So then they draw 6 and get tons of mana and have Omniscience in play still. Odawara, bounce our Rip. Another Pour over the pages. All right, if they're 5ing us here, then that means they have the combo. Yeah, all right, I'm done. On to round number 2. The problem with decks like Lotus Field and Nykthos is that they just feel like you can't do anything. Like, unless you are an aggro deck that can kill them in the first 3 to 4 turns, or a combo deck that can just assemble its combo out of nowhere at any point. If you're playing mid-range control or just anything where you're not winning the game either on the spot or in the first 3 turns of the game, it just feels like you can never ever catch up to what they're doing. And that's why so many players don't like them. All right, we're on the play for round 2. This is fine. Keep this. Yeah, like remember that league earlier where I played Atraxon turn 3 and it was not even close to being able to beat Nykthos? That's basically what I'm talking about. Do you have Damping Sphere in your sideboard? No. You just try to counter their stuff. Hive of the Eye Tyrant without a turn 1 Thoughtseize. Okay. So now we just play land, hold up, make disappear. Also, the problem with any permanent-based answers is that all of these decks have Boseiju now. Another Swamp. All right, I'm wondering if this is just the Waste Not deck, because I find it unlikely that a Rakdos deck would have Hive plus Swamp as their only lands. Let's just play this. Back to them. That's why you also put Pithing Needle in for Boseiju. Yeah. And then they also have Otawara. And then you use Karn to grab those pieces. Yeah. But you know what Karn's pretty good with is Nykthos, so then you should also put some Nykthoses in your deck. Also, since you have Nykthos in your deck already, you're probably going to need a way to add a bunch of mana with it. And that's not going to go so well in blue-white control because you don't have enough permanents. You should probably think about playing a different color. Green's probably the color you want with Nykthos, so you should probably play green. You know, as long as you're playing green, you should play the Mana Elves because they're a pretty good, you know, turn 1 ramp spell. Drowned Catacomb. I'm not going to cycle the Shark because I don't need to, so. And it's a pretty good late game payoff. All right, Field, and then just hold up Memory / Wandering Emperor. What am I even playing against? Hive, Swamp, Drowned Catacomb. Another Swamp. All right, cast Memory Deluge. It instantly resolved. I actually do want mana here, so let's take land and change the equation. I'm guessing is not going to be good against whatever the heck deck this is, so let's take Destroy Evil. So land. I can play Narset while continuing to hold open, make disappear. That might be good. Although then they can just animate their Hive and I can't kill it. Although if all they do is animate their Hive, I'm fine with that. Nah, I'm actually not fine with that. Let's just pass with Wanderings plus make disappear open and Field of Ruin. Island, still doing nothing. All right, let's just field this now. Is this just like blue-black control and they have no Thoughtseizes or anything? All right, so resolve Field of Ruin. I guess I'm slightly short on planes, so let's grab that. On end step, opponent plays Memory Deluge. Sure, that's fine. So it's blue-black control, and they have to clean up because they have 8 cards in their hand. So yeah, it's blue-black control. Prairie Stream, so I don't want to just jam Shark Typhoon out. So let's just pass again with Wandering plus make disappear open. All right, boys, we've got the control mirror. Put the pain scale at 10. Thoughtseize. What's the best thing to do here? Is it flash Emperor in? Is it cycle Shark Typhoon? Let's just let them Thoughtseize us. I'm fine cycling Shark or casting the Emperor. They took Emperor. Okay. Yeah, let's just cycle this. I don't think I'm going to have an opportunity anytime soon to actually cast it. So yeah, Fatal push our Shark. That's fine. Whatever. Draw a card. Back to us. Teferi with mana open to counter back their counter. All right, let's go for it. Teferi. Sinister. Counter this back. And this is why you don't blink in the control mirror. All right, end step. Untap these 2. Field of Ruin. Slaughter Specialist. Enters the battlefield. Each opponent creates a 1/1. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a counter on it. Okay, sure. Plus Teferi. Play a land. Kill that. Play Narset. All right, they've conceded. So they're a control deck. So Summary, Mystical Dispute, Search for Azcanta. And they have to be playing like Shieldred or something. So Divine Smite. We've seen 1 creature from them. I'm going to guess Lockdown is bad. I'm going to guess probably one of the Verdict and Farewell. And then cut the Laydown Arms. Or maybe I just leave Verdict in. Cut this. I guess I could also take the aggro route with Bramaz. Just try to be more proactive here. March, Laydown, Bramaz in, and... See, I don't even know what my opponent is doing. Regal Caracal. Anything else I want to switch around? Let's see. Change the equations a maybe. It can only counter stuff that costs 2 or less, but that does include other counter spells, so it's probably fine. All right, let's run this. So the control game is basically whoever has more mana and whoever blinks first. You want to out-mana your opponent, and you don't want to cast things into counter. Like, it's fine to cast stuff into counters, but it's not fine to tap out. So Kahira, I'm actually going to keep this. 6 lands, all in on just play lands every turn. All right, tapped, go. Clearwater Pathway, back to us. All right, play Ardenvale, go. And I can start cycling these farmlands. Thoughtseize, yeah, that's fine. Takes Narset. All right, cycle the farmland end of turn. Divine Smite. So let's play Field of Ruin and then just get Kahira. Go. 4th land for our opponent. Back to us. Verdict. All right. Well, what can they do? Cast Deluge. I do need a second blue source, but I can get it via the Field of Ruin. I don't think it's worth tapping out for Kahira here, so I'm just going to play a Plains and pass. And I guess I'm going to stop on their upkeep, or on their draw step, rather. All right. Field the Clear Water pathway. Floats a blue. Resolve Field of Ruin. Go grab an island. All right, doing nothing with that. Plays Otawara. All right, cycle the farmland. Change the equation. Finally, our first counter spell. All right, so let's go land. And then I guess I just hold change the equation up. So let's play Kahira. Is that even correct? I can just hold up making a human. Yeah, all right, let's just pass. And then either interact or make a human. Back to them. Watery Grave, Shocked in. I wonder if they have Gear Hulk. All right, let's make a human end step. Then back to us, play a land, go to combat, attack with the human, swing. No responses, they take 1. All right, I'm fine to just keep passing. End step, dig through time, which I cannot counter. All right, yeah, sure. All right, opponent also just takes no actions again, make a human. Back to us, play land, go to combat, swing, swing. Opponent goes to 13, and then we'll just pass it back to them again. End of turn. Hull Breaker Horror. Sure. Hits the board and then we kill it. All right, back to you, opponent. Go blank, which I do not have a response to. So let's see. I'm going to discard Kahira and I'm not sure what else. Kahira and Smite probably. Or Kahira and Verdict. Make sure that resolves. Kahira and Verdict. Pithing Needle. All right, so I got to cycle this now. I guess I can just counter Pithing Needle, but yeah, Pithing Needle's fun. They could name Teferi as well, or they can just name Castle Ardenvale. Yeah, I guess I attempt to counter this. All right, am I just making a shark here? I find it very, I don't know, if I draw a counter spell, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could draw Mystical Dispute. Search for his Kanta. All right, go to combat, swing, swing. I'm gonna try to resolve Caracal, and then if that gets countered, I play his Kanta. Yeah, all right, so no, then play his Kanta. So I am tapping out here, but I have nothing else to do anyway, so it's fine. They did nothing. All right, resolve his Kanta. I'll keep that. Go to combat. Swing with the human tokens. All right, Brimaz. Sinister Sabotage, sure. Pass to the opponent. They're still doing nothing. All right, at this point, I'm going to cycle the Shark Typhoon because I don't think I'm going to have an opportunity to actually use it and to hardcast it rather, and I figure as Kanta. Memory Deluge in response, sure. Why would you deluge in response to this? Verdict. All right, so back to us. As Kanta, resolve this trigger. Make disappear. At this point, I'm binning that. Teferi. All right, so go to combat. Swing, swing, swing. Fatal push one of them. So go to 7. I'll try to resolve Teferi here. That's fine. They have 2 open. So if it's make disappear, I can pay for it. Otherwise, even if it gets countered, it gets me to 6 cards in the graveyard, and then I can flip his Kanta next turn. Dig through time in response. Okay, so they don't have a counter for it. Resolve Teferi. Plus, if I shock this in, then I can activate Ardenvale. All right, so shock this in. End step. Untap this. Pass to the opponent. Castle Vantress. Well, it looks like it's going back to us. If I field it now, then Azcanta gets to flip. So it's probably more valuable than just making a human token. So field the castle. In response, opponent. Right, so grab an island. And then they are casting Memory Deluge from the graveyard. Sure. So back to us. Azcanta triggers. All right. As much as I want that, I think it's better to just flip Azcanta. Maybe that's not true. They're at 7. So yeah, all right. Keep it on top. Plus Teferi. All right. Go combat. Swing with the humans. So then end step trigger, I can activate castle and then still have 5 open, which is not enough to do both of these. Float, just in case they do something here, I guess. Cycle Fetid Pools, sure. Untap these 2, then back to them. Hall of Storm Giants tapped. No, I'll just keep making human tokens. Doesn't cost me anything. All right, Azcanta trigger, I'm not binning that, so keep that on top. Plus Teferi, go to combat, attack with the humans. Just resolves, eh? All right, end step, float, consider, sure. A sensor cycled, sure. Untap these, and then pass back to you. All the humans are lethal. Well, not all of them. 2 of them are. Go for the throat on a human, sure. Land. Not attacking with the hull, obviously. All right, make a human. And back to us. Azcanta again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, bin that. Flip his Kanta. Drew another land. Plus the fairy. All right, go to combat. Swing with the humans. Cling to dust, targeting Caracal in the graveyard so that they can gain life. They can flash it back. I guess I'll counter this. Change the equation. Cling to dust again, sure. And they take 3 and they're back to 2. And then we just pass and untap these 2 lands. All right, so they cannot escape it again. All right, we have won. On to round number 3. Oh, control mirrors. Pia deck. Saying Pia deck. So we're on the draw for round number 3. Let's see. All right, this is fine. Keep Sacred Foundry. It's Raven Inspector. Okay, so it's Boros Convoke. Let's play this tapped and go. Control mirrors are my biggest argument for why control is just not fun. No one usually gets mad at aggro mirrors. Control mirrors, the problem with the control decks are that they lock up the game early on by just like snowballing ahead with board presence or card advantage, but then they don't actually win the game until many, many turns later. So the classic, like, Jace the Mind Sculptor is sitting on the field just constantly drawing cards every turn, but they technically haven't won, but they've basically won. Well, I guess I'm killing one of these things to reduce the Convoke amount. So eat that, and then play Farmland tapped. All right, we take 3 from these goblins, go to 16. Oh, they just don't have anything else. Huh. I can cycle a shark, or is it better to wait a turn? It's probably not, right? So yeah, let's just play castle and pass. Aggro mirrors are often not satisfying either because being on the draw is often a death knell, but at least they're over quickly. Yeah, big reason why I like Wandering Emperor. Wish we had more of her and less Teferi. All right, cycle the shark. I know that I can block next turn, but I just want to take less damage and try to find a sweeper. They're also just apparently on the all-in on Convoke plan. So let's just reduce the amount of damage we're taking here and while getting them off of Convoke block. All right, and so next turn I can just Wandering Emperor and ambush them. Voldaren Epicure. All right, land go. Yeah, more of threats that actually just end the game as opposed to sitting there drawing cards every turn and then not winning the game until 7 turns later. Swing, cast the Emperor. All right, so sideboarding. We want Bramaz for sure. Temp Lockdown. Divine Smite's only black stuff, right? Yeah. And then Caracal and Farewell. And we don't want slow-ass stuff, so Veto's probably pretty bad. What else? I probably don't need as much expensive stuff. So like I can shave a Teferi, a Shark, a Deluge. Does Destroy Evil do anything? It kills it kills the Convoke guys, but that's it. And if we're at the point in the game where they're convoking a guy, then I just want to sweep the board instead. Change the equation's not really that good either. All right, let's cut change the equation and we'll run this. So yeah, I always go back to, I think the best control decks were the ones from Dragon's Maze Standard when you had to win with Aetherling, because Aetherling didn't draw you cards and it was a huge mana investment. And then it would just end the game. All right, keep this. Sacred Foundry, Voldaren Epicure. All right, just kill that with Lay Down Arms. Pass the turn. I'm of the opinion that the Convoke deck just flat out sucks. It's got the fragileness of a normal combo, but instead of being weak to counterspells, is instead weak to removal, wraths, and in some cases just normal blockers. I think it's, from what I've seen, I think it's worse than the Pia deck. So Burning Tree Emissary, and then what, are they going to Surge a Bushwhacker or something? That would be bad since the only cards in our hand are, okay, yeah, they're going to Surge a Bushwhacker. And then we take 6, go to 13, and then I don't have an answer to any of this stuff. Oh, there's at least Wandering Emperor. So let's play this and just hold up Make Disappear and cycle Irrigated Farmland if they don't play anything for us to counter. But we are still taking 4 a turn from these guys, which is a problem. Gleeful Demolition. Well, we're definitely countering that. All right, back to us. Another Make Disappear. So once again, let's just go Prairie Stream. There's a possibility that I still cycle this. So yeah, Prairie Stream, go. Best thing I've seen on the ladder is people fusing Pia and Convoke. Use the Pia as an engine to do the Convoke thing instead of dedicating other cards to making useless, non-evasive 1/1s. We're dying pretty fast to these guys. Swing with Burning Tree. Why wouldn't you swing with both? Definitely swing with both, right? I only have 3 mana. I guess they're like, what if I cycle Shark Typhoon and block this? Yeah. All right, we're at 5. Cycle the Farmland. Verdict. All right, I'm going to cast Verdict instead of Wandering. It's kind of wild. Something like Dream Trawler was printed to be a control finisher and hardly got used because of other stuff like Big Tef exists. No, in Standard, Dream Trawler was 100% used. But Dream Trawler wasn't great either because although it would kill you super slowly. What am I doing here? I'm just holding up all the interaction. So pass. Ornithopter. Convoking out Venerated Loxodon. All right, so we counter that. And then I unfortunately can't do anything else. All right, murder this thing and then pass. More convoking? Nope. All right, slam Caracal. We have won the match. On to round number 4. Dream Trawler also occasionally sees play as an option in Pioneer Blue-White control because it's like a good enough finisher that's basically immune to removal. I quit MTG during the Eldraine Modern Horizons 1 fiasco and didn't get suckered back in until Neon Dynasty by anime cards, so I missed all of that. This is fine. Opponent reveals Giganta, so keep this. Razor Verge Thicket. Plays Glade Cover Scout. Oh, so we're doing that, eh? Alright, so Lay Down Arms is useless. And we drew another Lay Down Arms. Alright. Pass the turn. At least we have Destroy Evil in hand. Boulder Loft Pathway. No Curious Obsession, at least. All that glitters. Then we take 2. Untap, play land, and go. Let's just hold up Veto plus Destroy Evil. White Cartouche. I don't care about that. That resolves. Kind of wish Jade Avenger was Pioneer legal because it's such a silly little green guy. I have no idea what this is. Jade Avenger. +2 Bushido 2/2/2. Okay. That I will veto. And so now I have Destroy Evil plus Lay Down Arms for the token. Alright, so lay down the token and then pass. And then almost certainly just casting Destroy Evil on all that glitters. Griff's Boon. Alright, Destroy Evil on all that glitters. So we take 3, go to 11. Another Glade Cover Scout. Ooh, we have Otawara as well. Alright, so pass with Wandering Emperor, and then I'm going to try to ambush the one that's not flying, and then next turn maybe I can Otawara bounce the Griff's Boon and ambush this one. Oh, it still has first strike. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do here, but well, I'm definitely playing Wandering Emperor. Just swing here. Yeah. Well, take another 3, go to 8. Light Pause, sure. Cast Wandering Emperor. Make a Samurai. So I can play Teferi, or I just Light Pause. I probably have to kill Light Pause, right? So lay down arms here, then this, and then I just pump the Samurai, attack with the Samurai, and then I Otawara the Griff's Boon and block. Another land. So yeah, swing. So Otawara, bounce Griff's Boon. What happened to Green Odoras anyways? It seemed like the next best thing after Pro Tour 1, but I haven't heard much murmurs on it since. Is it just hard to pilot? I think it's really inconsistent. All right, so Farewell. Smite doesn't do anything. Ramaz can kind of block. Ramaz also just makes free 1/1 blockers, so it's good for like racing. Also temp lockdown for sure. And then the counter spells are probably bad, especially on the draw. Anything slow is bad. So Teferi slow, Shark Typhoon slow. Shark Typhoon's really slow. Cut that. Actually, the laydown arms are mostly bad, right? Like any sort of targeted removal. Although you want some of it for Light Pause, but actually, nah, it's fine. Yes, cut all the laydown arms and then bring in what? Caracal. I don't think you're ever going to outbody them. Search for Azcanta is reasonable as you just play it and start filtering into what you need. Like anything that can just go find sweepers. So maybe that's a reason to leave in Shark Typhoon. Just redraws, makes a blocker. All right, submit that. All right, this is good. We've got enchantment removal, filtering, redraw here with a blocker plus Farewell if we make it to that point. So keep opponent mulls to 5. See, this is the kind of thing, like the Aura's Boggles decks have this problem of you just need exactly the correct sequence of cards in your opening hand. And if you don't have it, then you have to mull. Razor Verge, Glade Cover. Yeah, wrong half of the deck issue. I don't think there's anything that I would have to like absolutely march. So yeah, let's just play this. Razor Verge Thicket. Plays Light Pause. All right, that's definitely dying. Whenever an aura enters under your control, okay, maybe not. Maybe I just make disappear whatever they cast and then kill that stuff next turn. All right, let's do that. I can also march. No, they're going to attach the Glade Cover, right? Audacity. Oh, they have the mana to pay for it too. All right, I have to march the Light Pause and exile Farewell. Just prevent them from getting more stuff. All right, take 3 to 16. And they clearly don't have anything else or else they would have just suited up. They have Skrelv. All right, if I play Narset and use it, then they just kill it, although I'm saving 3 life, or I just play as Kanta and play this tapped. Or, no, I can cycle a Shark, right, and then just block this. But they can also Skrelv their guy in response so that I can't block it. But then they have to Skrelv their guy every turn. Is that worth it? I also want to draw more cards. I guess it's worth it. Shock this in, go. Cartouche. Well, that is a bummer. Yeah, all right. It also has Trample, and therefore is not a good block anymore. Oh, they're attacking with Skrelv? Awesome, all right. I can block that now. Cycle Shark. Draw, Prairie Stream, block here. So 2-turn clock. Oh, we do have some stuff. All right, what's my move? Let's definitely play Island. And then it's what? Search for Azcanta plus Destroy Evil on Cartouche to take less damage. I can also just like get Kahira. No, that's bad. All right, as Kanta go. Oh, Griff's Boon, and they can pay for it. All right, I guess I have to. I really don't want to blow up Audacity and let them draw a card, but I think I just have to. It's the thing that's making us take the most damage. Alternatively, I blow up Griff's Boon. They can just get back the Griff's Boon if they draw mana. So let's see. Blow up Audacity. We're taking 4 and we go to 6. I guess that's the move. All right. Blow up Audacity. Take 4, go to 6. Tap land. As Kanta, I will bin most things. Fairy's really... I just need to find sweepers, right? The fairy can tuck the token, but then it's the same... yeah, so I probably just need to play Narset. All right. Graveyard. Wandering Emperor, this has flying. It can at least kill the token, but the token doesn't tap, so it can block the token, but that's it. Yeah, it's got to be Narset, try to find an answer. Shark Typhoon, Memory Deluge. I'm not going to have the time to cast Deluge, so I just have to take Shark Typhoon. All right, pass the turn to the opponent. This Make Disappear is now completely useless because anything that they play, they can pay for. I guess I can also not cycle the Shark this turn and cycle it next turn to block. All right, are they attacking Narset or not? No, they're just attacking me. Very well. We go to 2. Plays another Glade Cover Scout, giving them multiple lethal creatures. So next turn, if I go Shark Typhoon, make a 1/1 to block this, I'm still dead, so I have to cycle the Shark Typhoon now to just try to find more cards. All right, cycle. There's Verdict. Oh, they're putting Giganta in their hand, right? Okay. As Kanta, Graveyard. Also Farewell next turn. Minus Narset. Wandering Emperor. Cast Verdict. Go ahead, opponent. And then we get to flip as Kanta, so we have guaranteed mana for Farewell. Graveyard. All right, opponent has conceded. On to round number 5. It is kind of interesting how certain decks suddenly explode in popularity and then just fizzle out really quickly. Like the Boros Convoke deck that was thought to be like, oh my gosh, it's the new hotness, it's the new best deck in the format, and then just fizzled out really fast. Some unhinged comments tried to compare it to Hogak. I get it. It's like you're playing creatures and using Convoke and getting a bunch of power on the board really fast, but it's not Hogak. All right, we're on the play for round number 5. 7 lands. What do you guys think? We do actually have a cycle land, though, and Hall, but I think it's still not. Yeah. So, Mull. All right, much better. I'm not binning a land, so what else am I binning? Probably March of Otherworldly Light. It's the worst card in the hand, depending on various decks. It's also, even if this is an aggro deck, then it's like the worst card in the hand in terms of having to pitch stuff. I'm not sure. Maybe Veto. Like, it just so depends on what we're playing against. It's one of these 2 cards is the worst card. So let's bin... Our opponent is a companion. Our opponent's Giganta. Giganta decks are not veto decks. So bin Veto. Play this tapped go. Lair of the Hydra. But they have Giganta? Huh. Well, always Bolt the Bird. Is it vehicles? Like, what's green and playing Lair of the Hydra and has Giganta? Lovestruck Beast. So Possibility Storm or vehicles. All right. I don't particularly want to cast Lockdown at this point. Or March. I think it's best to probably just cycle the Shark to try to hit more lands. So pass back. Do I trade with this? I guess so. I'm going to cycle the Shark almost certainly no matter what they do. So cycle the Shark and then let's just trade. Block here. Human dies. 3rd land. Plays. Okay, so it's vehicles. Storm Seeker. I really wish this wasn't tapped. I might be forced to march this depending on what they do. Also, the Lockdown is probably increasingly less relevant as this game is going on. So... probably March pitch Lockdown. Mutavault. They can haste their Mutavault, right? So let them animate the Mutavault and then before they go to combat, kill this. Or they'll just play it Chariot or something. Lano or Elves. It's on combat, right? So I can just respond before they go to combat. All right, kill that. X is 3. And then they can play Lovestruck Beast from their sideboard and still have an elf, but at least I get to use Wandering Emperors after that. Lay down arms. Well, I'm going to use Wandering Emperor, so we just pass it back. Animate Mutavault. I'm actually fine getting chunked with... Oh, they're not attacking with Love Beast. All right, well, I will 100% flash this in and eat Mutavault. I guess I just make a... No, I could just make a Samurai and block the elf. Block here. Plays another land. Reckless Stormseeker. All right, so kill that and make another Samurai. Play this tapped and get Kahira. Elf. All right, so now they can attack with their Love Beast. Shocks this in. Animates the Lair of the Hydra as a 3/3. Really? I'll 100% double block the Lair. All right, so yeah, play this tapped, attack with the Samurai, and pass. There's like chucking away their mana sources into blocks. Combat. Swing there. Wandering Emperor. Eat this dude. Giganta to hand? Yep, Giganta to hand. Tap land. Alright. Plus here. Play Kahira. And swing with the Samurai token. Then pass with Make Disappear up, although they have enough mana to pay for it, so I will have to sack something. I guess I'll sack Kahira. Boat. 100% countering that. So Casualty 1 and sack Kahira. Alright, so counter the boat. They have Giganta 1 unknown. I think I just keep putting counters on this. Yep, swing with the Samurai. So the next turn, if they play Giganta, I can get this up to a 5/5 with first strike. A Crowan War. Alright, so now they steal the Samurai, and then they can animate Mutavault and kill Wandering Emperor. Next mode is goad everything, and then tap things. So, okay, the other modes don't matter. It's just they're stealing the Samurai token for a while. Well, another Wandering Emperor, so pass it back to them. Mode number 2, nothing happens. Animate Mutavault. Really? They're not going to just play Giganta here? Alright. Wandering Emperor. Make a Samurai. Block Llanowar Elves. Okay, so they have the mana to just play Giganta anyways. Field of Ruin at least kills the Mutavault. So make a Samurai. Is this forced to attack this? I guess not. Alright. I should probably stop them on their draw step, because I'm just going to field this no matter what. And grab an island. Third chapter, nothing happens. I get my Samurai back. Lovestruck. Alright. Plays Lovestruck Beast. Well, we're still drawing pretty bad. So put a counter on the Samurai and go. I'm not going to attack here because they can double block it. So just leave it back as a blocker that blocks their whole team. Alright, so now we're in a standoff. Wow, these draws have been just terrible. Do I just keep increasing the power of this guy? Or maybe I spread it around. Alright, pump this guy up. And then no attacks. And looks like it's just coming back to us. Alright, and I'll change the equations at least a spell. Pump this dude. Assuming you could, would you trade Teferi for Jace in Pioneer? Yes. Jace is more killable and takes longer to, and like doesn't protect himself by untapping things. Alright. Alright, we drew Teferi, so now we can lock things up. Plus another Teferi. Put a counter on this one, and then untap a land, tap 2 lands. Go. There's basically zero reason for me to be aggressive because I can just keep plussing Teferi and we'll eventually win off of that. Plus Teferi. Make a Samurai. Play a land. Go. Obliterating Bolt. Counter. Alright, we have 1. So versus vehicles, I want sweeps. I want not temp lockdown because it actually doesn't kill that much in their deck. Bramaz is okay. It's not good against Chariot or Boat though, so it's not actually that good there. Divine Smite doesn't do diddly. Is Regal Caracal good in this matchup? I think I probably just run this back, right? Make Disappear and change the equation are reasonable. Veto is also reasonable because they have a bunch of vehicles. Like the only question is Caracal better than something else I could be playing? I guess I don't really want March, but March is okay too. Is Narset like bad somehow? It's probably fine as well. It finds sweepers. Yeah, let's just run this. This is fine. This is also fine. Although it's awkward that we don't have the turn 1 way to kill their elf, but we'll keep. They didn't reveal Giganta? Oh, well, not sure what happened there, but apparently we won. Maybe they had to leave? I don't know. Anyways, so that's 4-1 with blue-white control. I mean, there's no ending. It's blue-white control. It's the same in every format. If you know, you know. If you don't, I can't really explain it. It sure is blue-white control. Yep.